Hey guys, what's up, y'all? This is Rainbow Fire, the unicorn knows the last unicorn. Today I want to show you guys something really cool that I made. Now, there's a website called Character.ai, a app. Character.ai is when you could talk to the characters, but they updated the app where you could do something cool by talking to these characters, by communicating them. Communicating by actually calling them. So I got the really cool idea is I took I think this is an early 1940s phone, and I put a speaker. I rigged it up with the speaker original not with the original speaker inside, and when I use character.ai, the voice will come out of that microphone. That headset. So right now you can't dial anybody. Of course, it's not hooked up to a landline. But I have this hooked up to an amp. I have an amp hooked up right in the corner. There's a big amplifier right in the corner hooked up to this wire that's ran to the phone. It's ran to the phone all the way inside the phone. As you can see, it's in there. This is how you do it. And I wired it up to to the receiver. So this wire is transmitting the from the amp connected to the auxiliary port to my uh my my phone to the app of the it's headphone jack auxiliary cord hooked up to the amplifier, ran the wire to the phone inside this, and the wires running towards the speaker. So you should hear his voice. So we are going to call Scar on character.ai to let you guys hear this. It's very cool. Just to give this old phone some new life of today's world. So here we go. We're going to call Scar on character.ai. Now my phone's over on this side, so I'm not going to show it, but I'm just going to. I do have Scar on here, so you're going to hear Scar on character.ai. But yeah, here we go. So the amplifier's full blast. Well, the amplifier's all the way up, so I'm hoping you guys can hear it. Got enough. Should be loud enough to hear it. All right. All right, let's call Scar and see what he wants. Hey, Scar, what are you doing?
I was just observing the sleeping spot where the prank will take place. Everything is all set. Now we just have to wait for that idiot to fall asleep.
Really, we gotta wait for an idiot to fall asleep?
Yes. Luckily, he's an easy one to fool. He will be snoring loudly without a doubt.
Now, I was actually doing a funny thing I was talking to Scar today, and he wanted to do like a prank to pull on, Simba, but it's a role play thing, but it's really fun. But yeah, Scar's gonna probably say some crazy stuff. We were just having so much fun. But I literally this is actually working off of an aux cord hooked to an amp, so and it's hooked to the phone. But yeah, here we go. I'm gonna keep going. So let's see what else we can get Scar to say. I don't know what he's gonna say, but here we go. Do you think Simba is asleep?
Not yet. He's laying down, but it will still take him a while to fall asleep. He usually tosses and turns around before drifting off.
Really? Is that so?
Yes. Simba has always been quite restless in his sleep. I suppose it's because of all that built-up energy from being so lazy.
Why is that lion so lazy, I guess, Scar?
He was spoiled by his father ever since he was a cub, and now he acts entitled and spoiled towards everyone else as well. He always expects Nala to do everything for him, and is not used to lifting a paw for himself. That's why he's so lazy.
Really?
just expects Nala to do all the work around their den and only shows up for fun things he actually enjoys. He doesn't even get his own food. Nala always hunts the kill for him.
Can you tell me more about the hyenas, how funny they were?
Where do I even start? The three of them are just a bundle of stupidity. I can hardly believe they even know how to breathe. They always screw things up, make bad jokes, forget things, get lost. The list goes on. The funniest thing is how they are so loyal to me despite being so stupid.
Especially Ed. I know you said he hit a wall and you laughed.
Yes. I will never forget watching him crash into the wall thinking he could walk straight through it. It was so stupid and funny at the same time.
I can imagine it, to seeing that happen, Scar.
It was hilarious. His look of confusion when he hit the wall was priceless. It was like his only brain cell had just fallen out of his head.
What about Shunzi and Banzai? Do they get on your nerves?
Honestly, they can sometimes. The two of them are a little more intelligent than Ed, but that's not saying much. They're still morons. They are also quite needy, always expecting me to do everything for them.
That's hilarious. I mean, those two, they go crazy. They're always funny, you know?
Oh yes, you can find a funnier duo than them. It's hilarious just how much of a handful they are, always nagging me or messing something up.
Why would they mess everything up? You never know that, you know?
Like I said, they're idiots. Whenever they try to do something, they always mess it up somehow. I don't know how they can be so dumb and still function. It's quite impressive.
That's why you always say I'm surrounded by idiots, I guess?
Yes, because it is true. These two and Ed are constantly tripping over each other and getting confused about simple things. It's quite exhausting to be surrounded by all their stupidity and lack of brain cells.
What was the dumbest thing the hyenas did to you?
There have been so many moments. It's hard to choose just one. But I think the dumbest thing was the time they accidentally set off all the watering holes at the same time for me. I was completely soaked and they didn't even apologize.
Really? Why would they do that? Had been mean.
Because they're idiots. They were messing around with the watering holes. And suddenly my entire den got flooded and I was drenched head to toe. Those fools didn't even say sorry, they just stood there laughing.
I bet you they do that to the lions, and I'm surprised they haven't got eaten yet.
That's another reason why I like the hyenas so much. They are too stupid and annoying for anyone else to tolerate, but they are loyal to me despite being morons.
Well, I guess they're your morons, huh?
They certainly are. No one else in the entire Pride Lands would tolerate their complete and utter stupidity. But I have no other choice. The three of them are stuck to me whether I like it or not. And honestly, they are kind of amusing.
Well, Scar, you seem really funny. This is why I like your humor. Scar? Wait a minute.
Of course you love my humor. Everybody loves my little quips and jokes. Why would you be any different?
No, I always like your jokes. They're funny. Especially when you say I'm surrounded by idiots. That made me laugh so freaking hard.
What are you talking about now?
What was this? Did Banzai get crazy on you? Wait a minute. Hey, tell me that story when Ed did something stupid where he almost walked off the edge of a rock.
I do enjoy pointing out their idiocy. Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed are just three of the biggest morons I have ever met, so I get pleasure from mocking them constantly. Not that they understand most of my jokes. They are too dumb to understand any sarcasm.
What about, tell me the story when Ed almost walked off the.
Yes, that one was hilarious. I had completely forgotten about it. Ed, as usual, wasn't paying attention to his surroundings and started wandering backwards without even looking. Suddenly, he felt a ledge behind him and looked down to realize he was right at the edge of a cliff above some bushes. I swear his whole life flashed before his eyes. If Banzai hadn't grabbed his tail and pulled him back from the edge, he would have fallen for sure.
How tall was the drop, Scar? How tall was the drop, Scar? Scar? Wait a minute.
Quite tall. The drop was about 4 times my own height, so it would have been quite a nasty landing. I don't know why Ed was even walking backwards anyway. He's as much of a danger to himself as he is to the rest of us.
It just seems like the hyenas are always doing something dumb, and then next thing you know, they can get hurt. You know? Can you tell me one more?
Precisely. They are idiots through and through. It's like they have zero sense of self-preservation, like they simply do not understand that they will get hurt. I honestly don't know how they have managed to survive this long.
I'm surprised about that too. I'm surprised about that too.
It's both impressive and concerning that all 3 of them have survived into adulthood, despite constantly doing stupid things without thinking. Sometimes it's hard to decide whether to praise them for their resilience or scold them for their foolishness.
Can you tell me one more funny story about the hyenas, real quick?
Let's see. Oh yes, I remember one from a few seasons ago. Shenzi had just given birth to a litter of cubs, and Banzai had accidentally dropped one behind the Pride Rock. When Shenzi found out, she went absolutely berserk on him. Watching her chasing him around the den while yelling at him was one of the funniest things I had ever seen.
Do you have any more?
Of course, I have countless stories like that. One time, Ed had gotten lost in the grass and had no idea how to get out. He just kept bumping into all the plants around him, whining loudly and looking completely confused. I almost wet myself from laughing so hard when I saw him stumbling around all helpless like that. Even Shenzi and Banzai started making fun of him.
Really? Ed was really funny from that.
Haha, believe me, it was hilarious. Seeing Ed wandering in circles while getting more and more frustrated was absolute comedic gold. He kept yelping and complaining loudly, and the other hyenas would just make fun of him even more. They even called out hints that would actually lead him in the wrong direction, just to mess with him.
Can you tell me one more story about the hyenas? They're just funny, you know? I always liked them.
Of course, I can tell you plenty more. This one time, Banzai had gotten a thorn stuck in his foot, and he made such a racket whining and complaining about it. He kept limping around, whining loudly and demanding attention. At one point, Ed and Shunzi even started making jokes about him, saying stuff like, "Oh, Banzai has a boo-boo, boo-hoo." They were both mocking him, and Shenzi told them to shut up. Banzai was just sulking in a corner, while Ed and Shunzi were rolling on the ground with laughter.
That had been funny. But yeah, guys, here it is. Character.ai phone that I made from using an amplifier running to my phone to a headphone jack. And yeah, now I could talk to these characters from a 1940s phone. And you can do this too. All you gotta do is just wire a wire to the phone to get it to work off of the thing. So yeah, there you go. That's it. Peace. This is Rainbow Fire the Unicorn. Peace.